So let's talk about what Behind Hidden Doors is about. Let's get into the meat and potatoes and even perhaps some of those tiers.
Yeah, so it is a easy to follow guidebook and resource for caregivers, parents, guardians, counselors, teachers, anybody that has a child in their life that they want to be proactive before the bullying could happen to they're in the midst of it all. And so I, as a mama, got to walk through the journey of not one, but two of my children being bullied. And this book is kind of prefaced around a lot of the examples of her story as a bullying survivor and my story as a bullying survivor's parent. And so I walked through the different steps from trying to figure out what's going on in your child's life to understanding what way they are being bullied to getting through on the other side. And so I did not have that. I had to do a lot of research. I had to do a lot of digging and advocacy myself. And so this is to bless the people that come after us so that they don't have to walk through so much heartache and they have a community backing them and alongside them.
Well, and there's so much biblical gifting to that, right? It's like the knowing that we're meant to help those behind us, those who are going to walk through this, who already have perhaps or literally currently are. And I love that it's a tool for so many and so many different facets of that. Got so creative in the book writing process on trying to figure out how am I going to lay this out so that so many people can have access to it, but also so that you honor your daughter through the process and you honor those who may not want to be necessarily front focused on the bullying experience. A lot of people don't want to raise their hand to that story, just like I said, but this is where they're at. Can you talk us through what was that journey like as you were trying to decide what do I include, what do I not include? I think there's a lot of authors on the other side that are like, I have a story, I want to share it, but it's not fully my story. And you've done such an honorable job for everybody involved to do that.
Thank you for those words. Yeah, it was a lot of wrestling, a reminder constantly from the Lord that this is not meant to be our story shared. It's meant to be a tool in the hands of the reader. And so our story is intertwined in it, but it is not our story. It's not Madison's story. It's not Rachel's story. It is the story of the reader and wanting them to feel seen, heard, and valued because as the child that will be the survivor on the other side, they don't feel seen. They don't feel heard. They definitely don't feel valued. And then the parent in the book, it talks about it. I have a chapter solely for the adult advocate. You feel unseen, you feel unheard, and people abandon you when you start advocating for a child. And so that was my preface, and I wanted to make sure it wasn't an autobiography. If my daughter down the road wants to make a sequel, that is hers to hold in the hands of the beholder. But we do have inside of there the afterword where she gets to share just little nuggets that she wants to share right now that maybe someday will be birthed into a book.
I love it so much because it's like bringing out that opportunity for them to testify, for them to share, and also for them to recognize that this is not, she's not a victim. In the season, that's where she was, but she's an overcomer. And I just love that she's bold enough and brave enough. So if you're listening to this podcast, you have an opportunity to come to any of the book launch experiences that Rachel is putting together. And the coolest part is we had zero idea when we were going to bring this to life this month that it's Anti-Bullying Awareness Month. And so there's already advocacy happening, and Rachel's book gets to be in the forefront of that.